All right, here we go again. Buckle up. So, for some reason, in my Lowe's account, none of my in-store purchases are coming up. But all I have to do, because I use military discount all the time, which means it should go to my account. My online stuff goes to my account, but it says we must have got our wires crossed. Nothing in your account or something. But could be the deep state, could be something weird. But I just give them my phone number; they can look it up. But I contacted customer service. Had to use the bathroom, so perfect opportunity. Pulled up into the office there, disabled stall. It's like an office in there. Contacted customer service. He did a great job. I think his name was Rahid or something like that. All the way from India. But he got to it. He just couldn't answer. And again, he couldn't. I don't think he knew why it wasn't in my account. I didn't bother. I have to go call the IT people, I guess, or something. But everything else worked. Yeah, it could be somebody in Russia. I think the weather's cold here because of the Russians. The Russians don't like us here in Pittsburgh area. The Russians and the Chinese. You can Colorado. It's like 45 degrees today. Philadelphia's even warmer, but I think that's normal. When I think of Lake Erie, I think of snow and cold in the winter. I remember that was kind of the thing, and we're just south of that. Right. But it looks like the wood quality's up. Maybe just geographically where I'm at, but boy, we had great wood the last time Trump was in office. Now the wood is shit. And maybe like the EPA, I don't know. You have to get with the wood people, find out why we got shitty wood. Might be regulations causing an issue with the wood supply. Overregulation is just tomfoolery. I mean, regulations are there for a reason, but to overregulate, of course, they don't care. Like we used to call them yuppies, but they're, they got money. They don't give a shit. They'll pay the extra, $100 and laugh. Right? Half the money's stolen from the treasury anyway. Right? Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know how. I guess I can submit a correction to Google. Now, if you Google the address for the new VA up here in Butler, it'll show you the old one. And if you hit directions, it'll take you to the old one. So it isn't even. I didn't even Google VA. I just Googled the actual address they gave me, which is the new one. Right. And that puts me here, which is the wrong location. I'm trying to think right now while I'm up here. Do I need anything? It really doesn't feel that cold. So it isn't like I'm freezing to death or anything. It's just all this freaking snow won't melt. Yeah. I mean, I don't. Cold weather don't affect me all too much. I really like that new shovel though. Home Depot did a great job on that one. They're like $36 now. I bought them for 27. I bought it for $27.99. Delivered. Right? But you know what? The Lord worked there because he said, "Oh, I gotta go secure my shovel if they steal and shovels." Like I got mine sitting in the yard in the snowbank. Like, they don't steal them, but I said they don't steal them up here unless the deep state paying. Now they're looking for somebody to steal my lawnmower in the summer. Schumer got a lot of money out of Treasury. His people got $2 million on that. There's $2 million to steal the lawnmower. Democratic Party operative. So, I mean, do you ever sell a deep state in one of the offices there in Pittsburgh? Are they deep state? Are they hiding from cash? Are they hiding from cash down there? They're going to resign. They're going to wait for the violence to start, from the fake protesters. They'll all resign. Oh, this is horrible. Then walk off to their job where they do half as much work and twice as much money. That's a deep state scandal. That's why it never goes away. When they leave they don't prosecute them. They just say, get out of here. You don't have a clearance anymore. And then they walk off into a job where they're making twice as much money for half as much work. And then they still carry their pistols and stuff. Should be felons. Then that nonsense would stop. Right? Yeah, we work with felons all day long. They act like this is cool and this is normal. Just like they act like the anti-ICE people, the heroes. They're the heroes of our government. If they hadn't killed me that much, I could have launched the lawsuit because they already busted. There was already evidence. Because all my lawyer had to do was, well, we want the evidence from Arizona. We want that. All that information from Arizona where they were stalking their coworker and called it an investigation. Right. That deputy, I was on assignment after 9/11. I was telling what's going on. I go, well, they just down in Arizona, they just caught some deputies stalking a coworker and calling an investigation. They can't investigate him. It's a scam. Dirty. They're actually. So here's the next part that I didn't know back then. The deputies that were doing it needed to be investigated for corruption, outside source, kickbacks, payoffs, bribes. Wait, that's the point. Somebody like a narco has enough money, he can take anybody out of government. He just got to find a dirty government employees. And how's he do that? There's somebody out there like Dick Goodwin, like Rick Henry. You call him up, he'll take care of it for you. He'll go there. He'll be a deputy U.S. Marshal, not a narco or a Russian or a Chinese person or a fraudster or a sex trafficker, and he'll find the deputies to do it for you. And they'll say, "Well, just the deputy said that person was a pedophile, like Trump." Right? That's their scam. Right? But the worst part is they actually actively operate you to try to make you a pedophile, even to the point to try to get you to investigate it, and then say that no, that's not an investigation. Right. But I won because I told you what was going on. It took a few years. Not that anybody gives a shit, but I told you what was going on. They showed up, actually in a murder case. Right. 100%. The TSA guy left. He was hanged out the whole time he was there. I saw some stuff on license plate that looked like it was meant to freak him out. So I put that out, but I didn't say anything to him. I said something to him. I can't remember. I think I said something like, "Be careful, they corrupt you and shit." I think I said something. No, I couldn't imagine where, because that's what's happening to ICE. It's like being ICE in Santa Fe. I couldn't imagine actually holding down a job and having to be that. Because me, it doesn't matter. F you! Ah! Actually, I was nice in Santa Fe. I was deep undercover there. I mean, not really, but like for personal stuff. Once I got to Oklahoma, it got real dirty. I definitely was drugged. I did drug there too, but it for some reason it affected me more. I guess the drug they were using, maybe the potency or whatever it was. Yeah, they're chicken shit cheaters. They say they're just that good. Like, oh, we could get this guy to be like that. What? Oh, we're great investigators. Like freaking criminals. Not even great. I hate to use that term, but the term criminal. I'm trying to think if I need anything in here. We have that. I got a lot of rice. Okay. Hmm. Something I'm missing. Food. Right. Something told me to go inside, look around. So I gotta go inside, take a look around. I'll probably figure out what I need when I'm in there. I probably need me to heal something. Also, there might be some corruption going on over here. You need me to go in there and listen to the wiretap when they make their phone call. Actually, let's go in. Let's go in together. Let's go shop. Thinking we get. Oh, right. I got my microphone wasn't on my jacket, so I don't know what you heard, what you didn't hear. I came out of the car. I was an immigrant. She looked at me. I got my Bullwinkle patch on. They look at me one eye open, one eye closed. That's why. How you doing? Make her relax. I'm tired. I'm not calling ICE. I wouldn't call ICE anyway because I don't. That's not my job. If I was active marshal, some say I am, but yeah, I should do more than the other marshals. Why can't the other marshals do this kind of work for us? We pay them. That's a problem. Somebody's paying them, right? So this is the point. Like now that it's like ICE is getting hit and all that, I always did this work. I always kept people safe in government. I'm like the middle guy, keep people safe in government, keep people safe outside the government. And so they're like still talking shit about me, and they're going, well, wait a minute, he's helping us. You're not. We're supposed to listen to you. You don't make. Oh, I can't make these phone calls. He shouldn't be making me either. I mean, he shouldn't be saying that. So again, if I'm not there, then who's helping? Nobody. That's the thing about people in government. You just gotta like really just look at what they're saying, like the corrupt people, and you'll figure out they're just scamming you. Right. Well, that's just a psyop. Well, he shouldn't be doing this. But if he doesn't do it, who's going to do it? Nobody should be doing it because I get paid to stop people from doing it. And when I stop people from doing it, the narcotics distributors, sex shoppers pay them. That's how it works. Right. I'm saying I. They, let me look around here and see. It's kind of telling me over here. Oh, I'm in the Pedialyte. That's funny. I'm in the Pedialyte. I get enough from Pedialyte. Okay, I gotta remember. Yeah. Now, what happened is I got the blip while I was in here. I forgot to use my Edelberry. This is Edelberry time period. I gotta whatever it's called, Edelberry. Look at what they got here. Not cheap, but it's darn worth it. I'll buy that. But what I do is more important now because it's affecting more people in the government than just. Actually, they did. Like they used to pass my stuff around, so agents would know things, but they couldn't like officially put it. They wouldn't officially. They could, because Comey's not going to let you officially learn how to beat the deep state. Right. And people like you. Right. That's part of it. Now they know what's going on in Minneapolis is deep state. Walls is deep state. Chief of police is deep state. Frey deep state. That's the game they play. They're all already trained. I was telling you they were training them for decades. This is like the big practical exercise. So this is probably it though. Like once this cold goes, I think we're back in warm territory. Like the rest of the country. I want to see what kind of propane stoves they had here for what price. Oh, clearance. Stuff for clearance here at Walmart. Got some rollbacks. Got some clearance. How you doing?
Doing
Great, great.
$2 a piece. You can't get it.
Oil on clearance or something? Or
No, that's what they always are.
that's a good deal.
In a case of them, 17. Met 6.
Definitely be looking into it if I had a use for them.
This weather.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm first veteran. Guys, Screaming Eagle hat on, huh? Hashem said if I gave you a Screaming Eagle hat, he wouldn't have his. So I said, okay, Hashem, I'll wait. I'll be in line. Wait. That's how Hashem done. So if I give you the Screaming Eagle hat, he don't get hit. I said, okay, you can have it. I just got the bull wings on mine. That's what I said. Like when I'm like, if I ever like get really bummed out about marriage, there'll be like some dude with like cerebral palsy with a wife who goes, like a really good looking wife. If I gave you a wife, he wouldn't have a wife. See, I can't give you a wife because if I bring that up, you'll be like, no, give him the wife. But of course, we all could have a wife. One for the deep state. Right? They devils, man. They devils. See, do I need any of that? No, I got butane. Come on, baby, do the Trump motion. No, I'm not MAGA. See, MAGA's slipping by the wayside, so now I'm back in. MAGA probably put me out, a bunch of weirdos. But, no, extremism is useless, futile. That's why the country's screwed up. Both sides get centrist and it works. Pennsylvania used to be real centrist, extremely centrist. Pine, oh, anytime. It works. The formula works. Right? That's why I bought it. I think so. Yeah, it's cheap here. From over Track Supply. If you need a little locking lid, I'm in Mark. I got to restock them. They're $20. I $10 everywhere else. Like metalware locking lid can. I use that for my my ice melt. Now, that's the best deal on that locking lid can you're going to find anywhere. I thought they were out. I thought like I bought a closeout or something because the price was so good. Now I got a whole restock. I don't know. Remember where I bought it? Somewhere around here, Pittsburgh or here. Yeah, the young people are like the '60s, you know. But again, these people are aggressive, like really aggressive, you know. So we're going back to the '60s, but it's not a match, you know. Oh, they just like the hippies. A lot of these young people, same mentality. Maybe because their teachers were the hippies. I don't know. Maybe all their teachers were the hippies when they were younger, you know. Walls is a hippie. Actually, I got to get paper plates. No, I got to get out of that house. Cabin fever, you know. All right. No worry. Oh, it's over. Everyday place. Here's the other. No, I like that. The color is different. Okay. Oh, are they different? Oh, these are bigger. I don't need the bigger ones, that's for sure. I thought they had smaller ones of the other color. I don't need bigger ones. I'll just use them. Stuff. Oh, excuse me, man. See, that woman said that's okay, so we give her an up. Other that's sorry. You're sorry. Walls the hippie, the violent hippie. That's the other violent hippies. They weaponize. Look, they weaponize being a hippie. That's what's going on, man. It's '60s hippie all over again, but it's weaponized. Even weaponized hippies. Walls destroyed hippiedom. He weaponized the hippie. I don't know what's going on with that Confederate officer picture. I don't even know if they knew it was a Confederate officer. There's pretty stupid people in government, believe me. Right. But it's a gotcha. Right. Like, so from the like, Bovino can look at his past and how his life went a certain direction and can see the setup for like now, even if they don't say anything. Hmm. Yeah, still have yogurt. Hippiedom. They weaponized the peacenik. I mean, that's how bad it is. But it's fraud. I mean, that's how much fraud they are. We're peaceniks, but they're weaponized. They're violent, right? It's a scam. Right? Mhm. All right, over here, I bought the tomato sauce by accident last time. They might not even have it here. Oh, there it is. See, that's a curse, but it tells me what kind of curse it is. Well, I said they don't have it, and now it shows up. You see, it's like cursed to be wrong or something. They spend their day all day doing all the power because they got too much power. Then when they do that, their power and all their money is supposed to crash into this stuff. The world. That's what happens to the world. You're no longer debited for doing wrong. And again, it was never perfect, but it's not. It's not like it is now. Then you say, well, he should be drugged, shouldn't he? You surreptitiously drug someone, and they start that shit. Like, oh, it's actually a service to the country to keep it safe. But the fact is, you can talk. You're speaking all day about how it's not. Oh, they're nuts. I was screwed up this morning. Like the hearing aid that I was going to get them to look at, it wasn't even charged. It was like crazy. And then of course, you see the woman called, or I guess it's a woman called in sick. Probably weather related. That's not happenstance. That's why they shouldn't be allowed to stalk people. Because they're cursing everything in their lives. They go, but you cursed us. I didn't curse you right away, and I don't curse your life. Like, I'm not watching your life going, I curse your child's ballet performance tonight. That's what they're doing. And then the kid gets hit by a car, and there's no ballet performance. That's really who they are, man. That's who Comey is. That's who they all are. Well, when you make it about one person, then they hyper focus on that person. So that's what happened to Bavino. They just focused their curses on him until it all fell apart. Again, they moved the physical psyop around. It's like that scam: curse the person, and when it all fails, then blame that person. If they would have low fat and low sugar, I mean low salt. See what these are. Well, I can't find the kettle chips with the. This one is higher. That the Y's are way higher than the Lay's. The Lay's lightly salted is only 1.5 grams of sat fat, where the Y's is 3 grams. But it's still not kettle chip. That's probably a kettle chip territory. All right. Keto has high fiber, so that's actually one of the tricks. They killed my fiber intake, but I'm slowly getting it back on. No, without Walmart prices, I'd be shit out of luck. Young lady just upped me with her boyfriend, I guess, her husband. Does he know something? Awakening. Good thing. Like if I was selfish, I wouldn't want people to wake up at a young age. Like, I didn't get to wake up. I don't get to wake up. Don't like fair. But I do the reverse. Go ahead. If I may have woken up, go past my. Look, this guy just held his glasses when I went bing and wiggled my fingers. The cash in that one photo. The guy works at Walmart here. I think I'm here. I guess this is it. Yeah, chocolate and strawberries are inviting, but I don't need them. Not when I can buy ice cream that's low in sat fat. Only in Pennsylvania. Only in Pennsylvania do they have low sat fat ice cream. Well, the Secretary of Health doesn't appreciate that. You bucketed system. Whole milk. Growth hormone. Don't let him tell you it's anything else. He's on growth hormone. We're on growth hormone, and you can eat anything you want. You're gonna live as long as you can, and one day either it'll affect you and cause you to die, or just die naturally. Because it can cause an increase. Again, the science is probably better than it was in the beginning, but it can cause cancer issues, stuff like that. And most people that are healthy are on growth hormone. I almost positive Rolling Stones were on growth hormone. I think that's it. I don't think anything else. Excuse me. Thank you. But like in Pennsylvania, I could tell I could be married the whole time. Just had to be here. Right. They're not weirdos. You're all weirdos, right? I can see better. Oh, I even had cops I mean, circling around me in their vehicles while they were cursing me. Could have been direct energy too. I don't know. I didn't set you up. You were already there. So then I went. You're already doing it. I gave you the effect you wanted. Nah, there's no. Actually, law enforcement would tell you this is a point. It's a perfect operation because law enforcement operations would tell you not to do it. Right, over the line, but you just went twice as far over the line when you thought there was going to be some sort of tragic result. Now, that's not how the investigations work. You're supposed to not push over past the line. Once you cause an issue, then you're supposed to back off. I'm not manipulating your investigation because again, you are criminals. You are on the take. Kind of flip the script like Mr. Walls. I would call him governor, but he ain't worth it. He ain't no governor. Yeah, Minnesota, the rudderless ship. Yeah, but look how rich we are, but it's all fraud and narco and sex trafficking. That's why, you know what? That's probably why it's so expensive. You know what? I never thought about that. That's why it's so expensive in the Democratic Party. I was trying to figure that out over the years. You know why it's so expensive? Because everybody has money that's a narco or a sex trafficker or a fraudster or people that launder their money. So they can keep the prices up. So everyday Americans are like, how do I even eat here? Give me government, give me, I can't even eat here. Yeah, the price of houses are coming down. Why? They don't even show you it anymore. They show you all these immigrants who are living in these wonderful houses. All these Americans are going, how did you get that house? I can't. I'm on Snap. How did you get that house? Well, of course, drug money. Well, your businesses are run off of the drug money. They wouldn't survive without the drug money, without the sex trafficking. When I was in Santa Fe, this guy was towing my vehicle, and he said, because I was telling him what was happening to me, and like he was going to give me the answer real quick. He said, "See all these businesses? They're all money laundering businesses. They're not real." So the whole thing of Santa Fe. I mean, yeah, the stars were there and stuff, and that puts a little bit of money in there, but it's a narco sex trafficking haven. Right. Right. So what did they do? They launched you're the pedophile operation. Because it doesn't matter what we are, because you're worse. Right. But of course, they got caught with a fake pedophile operation. When one of their people murdered the other person that was in their little cell of fake pedophile hunters. They murdered. I was trying to look at them like that. I can't. I think I saw the one guy, the guy that was running it, like 25. And the thing is, if you look at their history, he was 25. The girls were like 18. Maybe one was 19. But they've been together for years, which means he was a pedophile. Admittedly, he barely meet the requirement for it, but because if you're within a certain number of years, they don't charge it. But he was outside that number of years. Right. Maybe I'll go down the other side. Where did I come in? This side or that side? I think it was this side. And then where I parked. I think it was over here. Yeah, so he was running like a secret society. But again, there's people behind him. I don't know how. I don't think they were physically talking to that guy yet. I mean, later in life they may have done it, but they put it in their head to start this pedophile hunter thing. It was fake. He was the pedophile. And then later, when it did get busted, he wasn't. You know, the girls were like 18 and 19. Well, the night before, they all slept in the same bed, so something there. So when she murdered the other girl at his behest, he put it in her head. Then he tried to play like it was all her idea. But it's somewhere along the way,
they were all, you know, having that three-way relationship, probably when they were underage. But there's adults in New Mexico that run that, and I don't. Again, I don't know how they put it in his head to do it, but it was there and he did it. Right? And they can steer stuff online into your feeds, have conversations, right? Like spies overseas, same thing. How do they put that in somebody's head? You know, they go to coffee, they talk to somebody casually, they say something, and something sticks in their mind. Then somebody else, you know, then you're at the supermarket and somebody else says something. It's the same way they create criminals that they want to, like the Harvey Weinstein type operation, where if they wanted the person to be, like they wanted Rose McGowan to be a criminal. That's what the whole thing was. So they could discredit anything she would say. They would actually try to make her a pedophile. I guarantee it. They cause her to be it. Now, nobody's predisposed in those operations because what essentially in her life, nothing will work unless she becomes that. Which I don't think Rose McGowan will become it, but she definitely would have issues in her life when they were pushing her in that direction. Oh, it's what I never knew what spycraft was until they came at me when I was in the government. I'm like, what is this? You know, what's going on? And over time, I learned what spies actually do. You know, I was in the military, I was in law enforcement, but I never knew what spies did. And I guess I'm not supposed to, but you know, they messed up, right? What's that? So yeah, so you'll have people out there. This is the weirdest part of the whole thing. When I realized it, I'm like, there's people probably in prison that were forced to it. And again, you know, people, it's a weird thing. See, it's a weird topic to speak about. Because, well, that person did the dirty deed, but you know, humans are only so resilient. I mean, again, the same thing I'm speaking about ICE, but you know, a little bit different. And again, they do have to watch about that. Right. Well, I didn't turn my card on. I have to use my thing. I might lose you here, but I got to go into my Walmart app. Are you still there? Hello, hello, hello. So, right. Well, that's the weird part. It's a kind of a sensitive topic, but it's real. I mean, it's horrible that they would reduce a person to that. Again, there's other violent crimes. Like you see somebody come out of a car and just pop off at somebody, you know, and then, you know, either they get killed or harmed or all that. Thank you. Have a great day, ma'am. And they get harmed, you know, somebody gets harmed, they've been messed with. So when I was in Santa Fe, some woman, she was kind of like a frontier woman. It's just something about her and her family. It was just, you know, they had been there for years. And she still had that frontier edge. And she was working for Ross. And I was talking about it. I don't even know if she was involved in the conversation or she was like on the side. And she goes, oh, those people. And I'm like, oh, somebody knows about those people and they're willing to talk about it. And she said, they've been here since like the 1800s. So again, you know, fraudsters, but she says, yeah, they exist. Now for her, she's never been executed. So she doesn't know that part of it. So to her, it's like, just ignore them, but you can't. Once they exit, that's the scam. So when they're taking somebody completely out, they destroy them. Well, you know, here's like Satan. Oh, look at that kid and that woman, they're immigrants. You're a mean man. No, I'm not. We're fixing it so that there will be appropriate immigration one day, and it'll work, and there won't be criminal enterprises, and they won't be sex trafficked. Right. That's the goal: is to restore legitimate immigration. And it isn't just rich people, because you'll find, like, if we get rid of all this bullshit, there'll be visas for baristas and Walmart employees and all that stuff. But you have to fix it first. Right. There'll be general, I believe at a certain point, there'll be general labor visas. That's what I believe. Thank you. Actually, if we fixed it before, there would have been. We were getting there under Trump the first time, but then Biden let all these people in and ruined it. Right? We were starting to move visas. Right? I'm hoping this thing. Yeah. I looked in the cart and there was nothing there, but something was outside my bag when I looked in my cart after I shopped. I was wondering. No, it's not really that cold. The sun's out, so it's not really that cold at all. Right? But it's just snow everywhere. It's like you live in Erie or something. Well, that used to be the mindset for people from Pennsylvania. Well, at least we don't live up in Erie. Wow, look at all the snow they got. It's like Buffalo for New York, right? Right. The culture's like, I grew up in Buffalo. I had to get her out of my head. Stop it! I know how to clear the snow myself. Enough, Ocho. Just kidding, but not kidding. She was there. I didn't know who it was, and then when she started doing, oh, it's her. She started doing her snow stuff. But she didn't get the curved handle snow shovel. She's ancient technology. Oh shoot! What is that? Something fell there. All right, we hear me? Hear me? I don't know. I'm gonna get somewhere else shop. I don't think so. I think this is it. I think we only eat stuff with fat and cholesterol, so maybe it'll kill me. So, but I had enough. I'm potato chipped out. I haven't eaten that many chips in years. But I'll tell you what, Lay's really did a great job. It's lightly salted, but it's also, like I said, 1.5 grams of fat per serving versus 3 grams. And it's not a kettle chip, but it's probably in the kettle chip category. And then they also have their sodium down real low. I used to eat the no sodium chips, the kettle chips. I lived across the street from Natural Grocer in Santa Fe, so you just walk over there and it's real easy. Vegetarian sandwich stuff. So somebody's having a laugh about Ocho somewhere. Might be Ocho himself. Might hear me. That's enough! Stop! I can clear stuff myself! Oh wait. I guess it's good. George getting me. Yeah, Hochul was probably normal once upon a time. They all went nuts in the Democratic Party, so she's out there. The rest of them, ICE is evil, and people that try to force ICE to kill people are normal. That's really what they're doing. They're creating a dangerous environment. It's reckless endangerment.
there's so local communities and the state communities, law enforcement communities are absent without leave. Well, they're supposed to be charging these people. Well, if they weren't there, it wouldn't be as bad. But again, what you're doing is there's another operation, which they don't want to talk about, who's before that also. They're encouraging the immigrants they're encouraging them to resist arrest. So it isn't really that bad. It's just the fact that the snow won't melt. The weather really isn't that bad, especially today. And I knew when the sun came out. The sun comes out tomorrow. My whose name is Annie. All right, so they shouldn't be in the streets. Like I tell you, get them out of the streets. I said if you don't get them out of the streets, somebody else will be killed. Because it's a recipe for disaster. And they say all they have to do is not enforce law. So what we should do? Oh, we should abolish ICE. Is that what Wallace is saying? I mean, he doesn't want to say it, but is that what he's saying? If they're not out there doing that, what are they doing? ICE is not going to leave your city. ICE was there before. ICE was there under Biden. ICE was there under Obama. In fact, Obama used them pretty good, right? Right. I don't know. I went to Now there's extra staffing, but that staffing is intrinsic to ICE. Well, they were like 22% strength, or 122%, which means when when they deployed the first augmentees, and they were actually using more FBI and Marshals, so you have to be careful of that because then your other stuff suffers. But based upon what they were doing, I knew they were going to disrupt the narcotics distribution. So it didn't matter if they were even nice to do it. That's part of it also. Well, all of a sudden, narcotics overdoses drop. It's obvious that they're hitting the right community. Like I told you, you get rid of the unlawfully present people and things will pick up. Because in their country, a lot of them, they don't care that there's narcos. They just, I don't want a narco to oppose me. So if the narco's with me, I'm fine with it. That's why a lot of them are. In fact, if they can throw some money my way, I'd agree. I appreciate it. We'll build your deck for you if you pay us twice the going rate. See, that's what also causes inflation. Because narcos and people that sell drugs and sex traffickers, they can walk into Best Buy and buy something at full price and not even think twice. In fact, you can buy 3 of them. We can't. So you want to build a deck, all of a sudden you're getting this highball price. Why? Because the narco's paying that. Sex trafficker, the fraudster, they don't care. Somali person will pay you 3 times the going rate for the house. He don't care. You didn't work for the money anyway. I have to wonder, This doesn't make sense. I know I can buy this house somewhere for this price. Why are they paying that price? Because they're like narcos and stuff. They got the money. I don't care. It's funny money. Yeah, Walls gave me this out of the tax money. I don't care what it costs. Here. In fact, we're gonna buy a congressman somewhere. Yeah, the woman was like definitely frontier stock. I mean, she wasn't like, well, I wouldn't say rough around the edges. She was just, I could see her being Annie Oakley. Speaking of Annie again. So as far as the Masonic Temple being evil, if it's not deep state, it's not evil. If it's deep state, it's evil. That's pretty much how it works. Because they actually have good information to help people survive, uh, devil attacks and stuff. Well, because that was taken out of Christianity, most of that. And they inserted it with how to be a devil. No, the young lady looked real serious. She heard what I was saying, so I guess she's inside and she knows what's going on. She don't talk out, but she gave me a thumbs up and gave me the eye up kind of deal. So it's with her husband or her boyfriend. It's my job to speak out. I'm known as the Big Mouth Son. They call me the Big Mouth Son of a bitch, but God called me Big Mouth Son. The African mask with the one deity with the big mouth, that's me. Never shuts up. It's actually in my stuff. Like at the beginning, I had to figure out and they probably did a little bit of it, but I had to figure out if CIA was like pulling my leg because it was all pointing to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's the CIA doing it. Well, I gotta tell you, when it started, like I'm the perfect person to say, "Oh, you're a deity," okay. How could I be? It's God and creation. That's it. Creation is all the same. You don't mean nothing. Now, if I had me a Lambo, I'd be something. But I'm not gonna sell my soul for a Lambo. Only because I care about God. That's really it. I don't really think about going to hell. I don't think I've ever done that in my life. Because I'm not. That's simple. God even came along and said, "You're not. No way, no how." Said you're actually going home to heaven like 50 different ways. And when he said it, I didn't have all the information I have now. So I'm like, what? It was probably something I figured, but I didn't have the specifics. And then he showed me the Bible, like even the New Testament. Rabbi Yeshua ben David, the guy you all call Jesus, he articulated a whole bunch of stuff. And then Pope Francis said that if you're a good person and I'm a good person, I'm sure we'll see each other somewhere in the afterlife. And he's right. And again, that's honestly good. Again, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. So what does that mean? So where is this? I'm a good person, you're good. It's the inside. So you could actually be a bad person outside and not be responsible. And then the FBI, dirty deep state psychology goes, see, he admitted to a crime there. No, I didn't. Oh yeah, because you're stating.
So yeah, you're evil because I'm good, right? I'm effectively good, so you have to be evil. Yeah, it's one thing to be good, another thing to be effectively good and destroy evil. At least dispel it. And that's what you have to do up there in Minnesota. You have to dispel it. Well, you have to, you have to bring up the idea. Yes, officers are paid to be good and to get to beat it, but that's the worst environment cops ever worked in the history of the world. I'll tell you that right now. There's no comparison to anything else. Not even protesters, because the cops are actually just trying to do their job. So it'd be like you would go into a 911 call, and yeah, once in a blue moon, cops get jumped when they're trying to go to 911 call. But it'd be like every time you go to a 911 call, people show up. Every time a detective gets out to question somebody for an interview for a homicide or something, those people show up. And what you have, there's this thing in law enforcement, and again, they've abused it, and I brought it up, so they'll make somebody afraid, and they'll flee. But a lot of times, if it's an honest operation and nobody's affected the person like that, they flee because they've committed a crime. So anytime somebody flees, you could be dealing with, again, what do we find when people flee? Bodies in the trunk. Well, somebody that's had bodies in the trunk before will sometimes flee if it's not abuse. Again, I brought that up before. Because they're guilty of a homicide. And they think you finally got them. Right? That's why you don't want to abuse people. Like with me, you can't investigate with psychology because they screwed it up so bad. I've changed reactions to anything. And being psychic is another part. So when the abuse in the investigative process, then we can't use the psychology to investigate that particular person, possibly an entire community. Well, we can use it, but then it's not that person. And then you go to some, and you start looking but they all have a strange reaction. But I was in the courthouse after John's death, and I brought up, I was speaking to a court reporter, and I said, well, it's kind of nice, it's quiet around here finally. And she just had to look a total in her eyes. So she must have thought I was deep state or something. Well, when Little Girl and Slickster caught an internal affairs investigation, everything went a little quiet. They figured that their people were overstepping and getting busted. Well, when that came through and they were forgiven, no charges. At least that's what I understand it was. Everything went crazy again. So Deep State took a hiatus while 2 of their people were being investigated. So I said, it's quiet around here. And she got this look of fear, and I'm like, oh my God. At a minimum, I knew they got her. Right? They had been in her life for torturing, essentially psychologically torturing. I can't tell you the exact reasoning as to why that happened. I believe she thought I was maybe Deep State at that point. No, there's no reason. I think it was the woman who had the husband that was he would do like messenger work for her, and some of the tasks. He was disabled. He had cerebral palsy or MS or something, and he would walk, kind of off kilter. But they were good people, her and her husband. So, there's no reason for anything weird to be there. Sharon, yeah, her name was Sharon. Yeah, she looked pretty freaked out, and I knew they gotten her. Kind of made me a little, because I was still recovering. But
But they really got me after that. When they got me later, that's when it really became a mess. Took a lot of time to decompress over time, and then they kill again. They stay at it because they know you can decompress and heal. So again, the ICE agents are going to have to watch for that stuff. They already got a lot of your identities, and the people that are on the street are only so dangerous. The other ones try to ruin your life. They'd love if they can cause something with Vino's life, financial distress or something like that. I think he's probably, as a chief, he's probably set up pretty good to have a good life. I mean, there's some stuff in the past, like that photo in the email. I got no idea what they did there. I hopefully they're not racist. He doesn't seem to be. It could just be something stupid. You didn't even know who it was. And a lot of ignorant people in government when it comes to that kind of stuff, like history and stuff. As far as promoting the guy, that's probably nothing to do with it. Well, because they act like it's like right at that moment he was promoted. They try to go, compress it in the mind. So I guess in the spring and the summer, people come up here for for tourism, I guess. I wish I could got to Butler. Who didn't know? Who thought Butler County was like this? It's some of the finer points of Pennsylvania. I mean, deep state's here, but I don't think they're fully powered. Heal the popo and this whatever breakdown, traffic stop, whatever. Yeah, I was just seeing it. This is weird. I'm wiring in, I guess. Like I haven't seen McThompson in a while. And there's one. Actually, this is the area I was looking for, like semi-rural Pennsylvania, and then they got me, and I lost track of everything. They drugged me pretty bad. I started up by the Limerick area. I think I went north, checked up on it. 80, I guess, is the highway up there. And I went to West Virginia south of here, I think, but I never got up in this. I don't think I was ever in the Pittsburgh area. If I would have, maybe I would have been able to settle, 20 years ago. So they say there's some water line breaks in the area here. I don't see any evidence of that yet. Okay, so no, it's not. Yeah, I was looking for that. Yeah, so here's an example of how they'll use it. I don't know if they would do that with me, but they would take the shovel and they put the shovel somewhere I can see it, or a shovel that was the same. So in other words, I buy a shovel, they buy the shovel, then they steal my shovel, then the guy has a receipt, and then they'll put it like on his deck, and I'll see it, or his porch. That's the kind of thing they use that. If they were willing to go that far. Say we do that to Bovino or a nice person. And they'd be stressing you out the whole time. There's the point. You have coworkers that do that. That's my point. So your coworkers would be stressing you out, stress. Then somebody would come along in your neighborhood, steal your shovel, and then somebody else would have the same exact shovel and put it on their porch. And hopefully you attack. Yeah, who'd have thought this place? I think this place wasn't here. Obviously, it was much older. I'd have bought a house. I'd have been. No way they would be able to stop me. Actually, I could buy a trailer right now if I wanted to, but just my age, I don't think it makes any sense. Unless, if you threw a lot of money at me, like the money you owe me, or some portion of it, I'd do it. It wouldn't matter at that point. I don't need a gazillion dollars. I just need to have again, even the money I was making, it would have been fine if they just let me live my life. They cause it, everything fails often as they can. So, where you make money in life is when you set yourself up somewhere you never have to move, and you know, improve on that location and save money that way. Any new building or any new trailers available. Funny that they call them trailers. When you in them, it's a nice house. I don't consider it a trailer. It's funny it's called a trailer. Manufactured home, I guess. Still call it like a trailer. Oh shoot! I think the thing went out. All right, that's it. Stay peaceful. Praise God.